Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, powered by FanDuel Sportsbook.
Another division game for Pitt coming up tomorrow. Steelers and Browns on Sunday. And could Sidney Crosby be back for the Pens tomorrow night? We'll talk about those things and more on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Hello again, everybody. I'm Josh Taylor. Good to talk to you again on a Friday night. Joining me live from the 93.7 The Fan newsroom is Paul Zeise from the Paul Zeise Show on 93.7 The Fan. Also from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Paul, let's get started. Let's start with Pitt. We've talked Pitt pretty much every Friday night, every Saturday. We always start with Pitt. We got Miami this time around. The last few games, you have told me the same thing time and time again. And so far, you've been proven right. It's rang true. If Pitt does the things that they're capable of doing, they can win this game. This looks like another team that is beatable on paper. They've had their issues at quarterback. They went to a freshman, had a pretty strong game last week against NC State. They knocked off the Wolfpack. But your thoughts about Pitt going up against this Hurricanes team at Heinz Field tomorrow?
Well, I think the big thing, Josh, is, if you look at what Miami does and does well, and you mentioned the freshman quarterback, I think he's a better thrower than the guy that he replaced.
Agreed.
So if you're Pitt, what you cannot allow to happen is you cannot allow these big explosive plays down the field. And Miami's got the athletes and they've got the speed and all that other stuff to make those kind of plays. I think if Pitt can limit those plays, not give up a kick return, a punt return, a long pass over the top, one of these runs goes for 40 or 50 yards or whatever. If they can limit those kind of plays, I think they're going to win the game. And frankly, if they can limit those kind of plays, they're probably going to win it going away, because I feel like Miami is not going to be able to put together sustained drives with a freshman quarterback on the road, all the things we talk about, a hostile environment. Last week when he played NC State, they were at home. It's a lot different, when you're at home. And, I read all this stuff about how the kid's from Connecticut, so the weather won't, mess with him. But when you've been practicing in 80-degree sun and playing in 80-degree sun pretty much every day, every week for the last 3 or 4 months, you come up here and there's a little bit of cold air and, Pittsburgh fall weather coming at you with a little bit of rain, that can mess with you a little bit. So I really just feel like Pitt needs to make sure that what it does not give up big plays. And that, I'm telling you, if we're sitting here tomorrow talking about them losing, Josh, it will be because they've given up 2, 3, 4 of those big plays.
I'll say this much, too. You mentioned a freshman quarterback on the road, also going up against a fifth-year senior quarterback who's at home and has seemed to find his comfort zone. Kenny Pickett is in one of the biggest zones, the best runs, the best hot streaks, whatever you want to call it. We haven't seen a hot streak like this in maybe 40 years, Paul. That's what we're talking about. He's getting into legendary Dan Marino territory with the season he's had so far. So you have that going for you, too. And if you're Pitt, you got Kenny Pickett on your sideline. You got a shot to win every game you're up against. Even in the game they lost, Kenny Pickett lit up the scoreboard. So, you got to feel strong about your chances for Pitt. And that might be the key for Pitt, really. Just being efficient on offense, getting some sustained drives, and letting Kenny Pickett just put the ball continually in the end zone.
Well, and I think, Josh, the big thing there that Kenny Pickett's done, he hasn't turned the ball over. He's got one interception, I think. 23, 24 touchdowns and 1 interception.
It's insane.
And you can say, well, that's not that, every quarterback throws some interception. But, Josh, last week, the first 4 series, when they played Clemson, last week, the first 4 series or whatever it was, where they were trying to figure out what they were, what to do, and they were trying to figure out how to attack, and, they were struggling and punting the ball. The one thing he did not do early in that game was get impatient and throw a, pick six or throw one, because he was trying to make a play and they end up intercepting it and running it back to the 5-yard line or whatever. He didn't make that kind of mistake, and that's the difference between a young quarterback and an older quarterback. He's basically smart now and really understands football and understands, hey, it's 60 minutes. It's not going to happen in the first drive. I don't have to try and make it happen. we'll punt, we'll trust the defense, we'll keep going, we'll figure this out eventually because we're a good offense, and that's been a key for him.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, I want to talk more about Kenny Pickett because there was a mock draft that came out, I believe it was today or within the last 24 hours. Guess where they had Kenny Pickett mocked to go? We'll talk about when we come back. Stick around.